Last time, I think you ran from a burning house at the beginning of the session after killing some Sabbat. That seems to be a specialty nowadays. And you went back to London to visit the Toreador Primogen in her botanical garden, the Royal Botanical Gardens, in is that Kensington or something like that? Somewhere,
London will do.
yeah, somewhere out there. Had a chat with her, trying to figure out a weakness. She did not really relent. She was more or less just poking at you and trying to get information of her own. Nemesis tried to strong arm her. You received information, or I say you, but Marie received a scroll because the Primogen viewed or perceived Marie as the most humane of all you guys, or human, or perhaps kind-hearted. You went your separate ways to prepare for the battle. I'm gonna come back to each of you, but I think we're gonna start with the traitor first, because he's not gonna be in the rest of you guys' scene.
Traitor.
Yeah.
Which one?
The obvious one.
I'm the Benedict Arnold of the group.
So I'm gonna come back to the rest of you, but I'm gonna start off with Oliver. Before we get into the scene, I want to know if there's anything you want to do before the scene as downtime when you wake up, something like that. Obviously, all of you can feed, so you can get yourself to a hunger one.
All
You
right.
need to think about that.
And then just
I think Oliver would finalize getting that the apparel that will probably be very useful that I talked to you about, storyteller. A bit of a protection in that way, and then he would also finalize any like briefing that he would have to give to Mr. Doyle. You know, getting him situated in the tower, you know, introducing him to people, kind of letting him know what his duties will be. What would you say the status of that is, storyteller?
Well, I don't want to say summoned him, because you don't really summon him, but you have contacted him, because it's only last night that you suggested it.
All right, my bad. I jumped the gun on that one. I wasn't sure how much time had transpired, so.
It's fine, but plans have been set in motion for sure.
Excellent. Yeah, he would. Yeah.
He is considering it.
Okay, good. And Oliver's kind of thinking about there would be a moment like if it's like a film or a show, and he's just sitting there looking out into like from one of the upper levels in the tower, looking out on like the skyline, the night skyline of London, and looking in the direction where he knows the Anarchs are, where the fist is, and he's just sitting there and kind of like biting his lip with his like big teeth, and he's just kind of like in this moment contemplating whether or not he made the right choice. But he knows that he's gone this far, and then I imagine he hears a little voice in his head. Maybe it's familiar, but then it's suddenly drowned out by another voice that has a stronger will, and it just whispers things to him while he's sitting there looking out, like in whispers, like a horror movie, and his eyes go black. And that's it.
Yep. Well, you're obviously summoned by the warlock. He brings you to his haven, far below ground, in front of the fireplace. You are given blood, as usual, so you can go to zero hunger if you want to.
Oh.
On the table, in front of the fireplace, I say fireplace, it's blue glowing stones, but it's still a fireplace that they're laying inside. It's a small little box made from some kind of black tree. Victor taps it with his cane, and says, "This is for you."
Apologies, storyteller. I think I jumped the gun earlier, but never mind. You get what I mean. He's like, what is it?
Open it and see.
And he will obediently undo the latch and open it.
Inside is about a foot long, leathery doll with like a human jaw where the head is, kind of lodged in there. It's cold, and you think with your heightened senses that you hear whispers from the doll. Victor looks at you and says, "I found this in my storage. I believe it belonged to one of your people."
My people. And he's gonna look down at it.
The Naharaja, or whatever they call themselves now.
And he's gonna look at this doll. And he's... Well, what does it do?
I don't know. It does not... I can't get it to do anything for me. But I can... just see by your touch that you have activated something within it. You get a urge, like a weird... It's not a voice, it's more of a feeling like you want to eat it. Consume the doll.
And he just like looks at Victor and looks back at the doll, and it just, his jaw just unhinges, and with like the great white shark maw, and he just bites down onto the head of it and just starts consuming it piece after piece after piece.
Victor lifts an eyebrow, but he doesn't say anything. When you have consumed the entire doll, your mind goes quiet. The voice of your beast is completely gone, and so is Wally. A woman appears in front of you. She's spectral. She has teeth like you, and it doesn't seem like Victor is seeing her. She's smiling at you, and you hear her voice inside your mind. It's a calm, almost maternal voice, or caring at least. She simply says, "I'm glad to be back."
And Oliver will just put out his hand towards her. And there, to Victor, there's nothing there, but he's just putting his hand out to her, but pulls it back. He's like really unsettled by this, but also there's like this sense of like peace and safety in this moment for him. Who are you?
I am lost, but found. I am one of your progenitors. You kind of feel memories rush into your mind. You unlock your oblivion that you've never been taught before. You gain at least fractions of her knowledge. Instinctively, you know how to do these things now. Like it's always been a part of you, but not really. Maybe she's a part of you now. You have consumed a soul or two before, but this is different. This seems more like something living in you, or unliving.
And he seems like overwhelmed for a second, like these visions and the memories flashing before his in his mind's eye, and he looks kind of like disoriented, and then he just suddenly stands up straight, and he looks over at Victor, and his eyes and now are clouded over in black. Thank you for this.
You're welcome.
This is...
He kind of stretches his hand towards you and his eyes go wide. If you want to resist him, you can, but it's not really necessary.
This is my Victor. This is my lord. Of course. Do as you wish, my lord.
Our character is trying your soul. He says, "I see her. Good. I'm sure you can use that for something. You smell different," he says and smiles.
I feel good. Thing. And he's just kind of like looking around, and he has heightened senses, but looking around with like a oblivion sight for the first time. I imagine he just kind of sees like things he's never seen before, and it's just, I can feel the pull of the shroud. There is one near here. I didn't know there was a whole other dimension.
There are many.
And he bows his head to to Victor. What shall you have me do?
One more thing. He pulls out a little briefcase where a black suit is inside. You can see with your sense the unseen. It's highly, highly magical, the suit. He hands it to you. Something fireproof.
And he looks at it. It looks like is it like a suit with like a tie kind of thing?
Yeah, no tie, but it's a black suit. Yeah.
Oh,
It actually looks like something Mr. Dorn would wear.
I haven't worn one of these since high school, secondary school. Sorry.
Right.
Nice. This will be useful. And he gives like a little wink to Victor. I'll put it on now.
Good, because they have to enchant you with other things, and we have a change of plans. You're not going back to the Fist. I fear they might know. You're staying with me.
As you wish.
He begins preparing ingredients for rituals as you put on the suit. It fits you perfectly. And still leaves room to wave around your arms. Is there anything more you want from the scene before I go back to the others?
No, I think now would be the moment, because I did jump the gun early. Now he would look out over the skyline towards the direction where the Fist is, and he just wonders where his former pack is and what they're up to. And then I think that'd be a good transition.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go around the table as I see it, the virtual table, and start with Luke. I just want to know, before you guys meet, is there anything you do before meeting up? Any, I don't know, preparation or personal thing?
Yeah. There is. So he's going to have the talk with Alicia. It's been like, all right, so I'm going to do something right now that is probably, it might not go so well. It might go sideways. There's a high probability that it will not go well. And if it does not go well, I need you to get the fuck out of the city and,
But I cannot leave you. I will come with you and defend you.
No. There will be no coming with me and defending me. No. This would be, if I don't come back, I'm not coming back. So that's sometimes what happens in our line of work, and you just need to take care of yourself. If I return, I will return, but otherwise you need to leave. If I'm not back in 24 hours, just I'll either find you or I'll be gone forever. So yeah. Sorry, I hate to break it like this, but yeah, this is not a great situation. If it wasn't for the fact that I've dealt myself in here, like I would be seriously second guessing all this stuff, but I'm kind of committed at this point. So
you can see she's looking at you with big teary eyes, and it takes everything from her to not break, and only because you command her to literally stay here and wait for you for 24 hours, she will do so.
Yes, and he's like, you've been great, you've been wonderful, and when this is all over, hopefully things will be in a better place. I can't say more than that, but I just want you to be safe.
No,
And that's really kind of all he's going to do. Is he's going to make sure that Alicia's fine.
yeah.
It's the one person that he actually still cares about in this whole world, and so yeah, he's going to be like, yeah, you take these plane tickets and you go where you have to go if I don't come back in 24 hours. So
She nods, wipe a tear, and sits at her laptop, making all the preparations in case she shouldn't return.
yeah.
Anything more you want? Before
No,
we-
he is he's got everything he needs. He is going to he does plan on talking to Dave about Mr. Smith because he feels like after all this time and in this particular situation, Mr. Smith might be an option because we're going against the motherfucking Phoenix. So it's I feel in any other situation that Mr. Smith would totally be off the table, but this is kind of this is apocalypse or not. So
Well, we can get to that because Dave is next on the list.
yeah. That's what he's going to do, though. He's going to find Dave, and he's going to renegotiate his position about Mr. Smith. So, yeah.
Dave, you have obfuscated yourself into the basement because there's still police outside.
I just like the idea that Luke's going to take the credit for whatever goes wrong. Alistair said to free Mr. Smith, so Dave will go and feed him, sign any pact, agree to any arrangement, perhaps ask him if there's anything he can do to destroy the warlock. But yeah, feed him, set him free.
Well, you feed him, and I imagine you break the chains with termite or something. A jackhammer will do. But termite at least gives you some distance, because they do erupt when you break them.
Mm-hmm.
The slight hum of the altar, you have heightened senses. It disappears completely. And there's a weird feeling, or lack of, in the room. Mr. Smith, he kind of just hovers down and lands gently on the ground and looks at you. His face is blackened, almost like there's a shadow in front of it. You see, with your heightened senses, it's kind of a weird sight because it's otherworldly, but there are these shadows of black wings on the walls behind him as he turns towards you. Thank you, Dave.
Anytime.
I owe you one.
Funny you should say that. We're going against the warlock, so if there's anything you could do, I would appreciate it.
I'll be there.
If the rest of the pack survive, that's a bonus too, but it's not essential.
I'll make sure you survive.
Thank you very much.
And you hear the flap of something, and then he disappears.
Time to make Dave available for Luke to make this his idea.
I'll get back to you guys. You'll probably meet outside the fist. But next up is Leo. Anything you do before meeting the rest of the crew?
Leo's gonna, in his big ass penthouse apartment, put out all of his clothing on the bed and just look at it, and then he'll start reciting Poema 20 by Pablo Neruda as he's looking at the clothing, and this beautiful love poem, because he loves his clothing and he doesn't know if he'll ever see it again, especially since he has to wear that horrible suit that he made that looks terrible. And he'll just, like, the last thing he'll do is just look at all this clothing and be very well aware he's not 50-50 not going to see it again before putting on his martial art grips and getting his gun ready and loaded and head over to the fist.
Yes. That's fair enough. I'll jump to Emery then. Anything you're doing before?
Yeah, so one of the things that I think that she would want to kind of know, would she be able to find out some of those rumors that she had found out about during the early days of coming here? So there were a few things that she had kind of like looked into. And so I will bring those up.
Yeah, ask your questions and I'll try to answer them.
Okay. So she kind of learned at the beginning, she had kind of heard murmurs that the Prince of London was Bahri, but she also had some inkling and some murmurs or heard murmurs that the Camarilla is not in charge of Britain. But one of the third things that she'd be kind of interested in learning about is that a Cappadocian from the Prince's Coterie created the plague in 2013. And going into this, knowing how like cattywampus this is, I think she'd be wanting to find out which one of those is true or eliminating one or two if possible.
Well, all of them are true. Prince is very much Bahari. He's not only Bahari, he is the Bahari. He is referred to as the prophet of Lilith.
Okay.
Apparently, Lilith speaks to him. He has the Camarilla is not really in charge. It's a matter of perspective, because Alex Kairos has been granted the right to govern London by Mithras and the Justicar. So there is an uneasy alliance, one would say. But if you ask the Camarilla, he's very much in charge. If you ask your own group of people, he's a puppet. And JK did create a plague. He tore a hole into the veil, or a shroud, or oblivion. He had a goal to... You probably learned this from Arthur because he's the only one who would know, but he resurrected his touchstone. And he created a plague to become more in touch with entropy to resurrect this person. And it's also rumored that JK never really cared for the prince. He just were there to further his own endeavors. And now he's in charge of the Cappadocians in London. So he's very much autarkist. Does that answer your questions?
Yeah, because I think some of this was given to other people and or they would know it, but Emery was doing stuff like that. And then knowing that there's some SI potential stuff and Sabat going on, would she be able to glean any of the information from the viruses that she put around to see if she could track anything, maybe get a heads up on what's going on, to see what they're doing?
Sabat presence has gone completely just null and void since you killed that guy. There's been nothing, there's been no leaks to Antigen or anything. Antigen are very active, but they seem to be in a surveillance phase at the moment. But if you ask the spy master, they could strike at any moment. So it's better not to lead them back to your haven.
Okay.
Because they will attack during the day if they find that.
Okay. And I think the last thing is she would kind of focus on the vicissitude. And would there be anyone she would know that's like a neutral to Mitzi? Question mark. That doesn't really. That's kind of an oxymoron.
Well, the one who taught you very fast and kind of let you tap in as a favor to Harry is I think you met him, Henri, he's called, but he's Shimishi. And he kind of explained to you, with the help of the book, the fundamentals of changing and what you can achieve with it.
Yeah, and so she during that time would look at ways of toughening her up. So she having an understanding of a lot of stuff around pigeons would probably do something with her skin that would make it a little more tough. Is there anything though, like with the fire resistance, because she got jacked up of the times that she's taken a lot of damage, those flamethrowers kind of messed her up. So I'm thinking that if there's two things that she could do, one would just like toughen her up skin wise, but also maybe something that would make her able to get up and move, like maybe the pigeons, not flying maybe, but is there something that could help with her not movement speed, but like getting from one area, not like blink maybe or something like that, like
You can give yourself wings, but you can't fly with them because that would require practice. But you can kind of do like big jumps.
okay. Yeah.
And you have two changes, so you could give yourself armor and you can give yourself wings as well.
Okay, I think she would just more the mobility, getting from one place to the other. She doesn't have to fly because that's
Yeah, but that would
Masquerade
require
breach.
practice, but you
Yeah.
can definitely do the jumps. Or you can give yourself like grasshopper legs or some shit like that. I don't know. It's definitely possible.
Yeah, I think grasshopper legs and then just bloop bloop bloop. Yeah, okay, that's what she would be learning on, and that's what she would do in her downtime. Probably also check in with the childer in the theater, see how that's going.
Yep.
So
Then
and she would reconvene.
Then we get to Marie, who I imagine is just sitting with books and books and books around her, finding just the right rituals.
A big part of her spare time, but as the day goes on, just like I healed all the aggravated damage, I'm going to use the Rose of Blood, and I want to, at some point of this early night, I want to go on my on my heart, and so that, and using the vessel I know of that has sanguine resonance. But before that, I would like to start preparing the ground for myself. I bought some mundane items, nothing out of the ordinary, for the rituals and all that, low touch or whatever. And I want to use a ritual for storing some of my vitae for later, and then feeding with the herbs. You allow me?
Yeah, definitely. You can
The fast rolls. Okay, perfect.
I imagine you want to do the Firewalker when you all gathered, right?
Yeah, exactly. I will do that one when we are all together. And now it's the simple one. And yeah, it shall succeed. I'm going to save 1 point, and then as I do this ritual, that basically I pour all my blood into a golden chalice and chant for a long time. It's not as fast as other rituals. It's not going to take me the entire night, but I really need to make sure the components are used properly. I make a specific use of daggers, and is inscribed this triade, this kind of more antique Slavic motif on the equipment that I'm using. And once I have everything done, I take my pendant, my Tanzanite pendant, I soak it deep into the chalice, and as I chant the last verses, the blood slowly descends and kind of enters the pendant of Tanzanite. Even if it's physical, there is no oil phase for it to soak into, but still completely fits into the item. I grab it, pull it back into me, and before the hunger gets too high, I'm going to call on this herd, on this contact of mine, this classic client. I'm going to make here an amazing deal, a free dialogue lecture, and I'm going to make use of that rush to feed on her, reduce my hunger to 1, and get my resonance before finally meeting with the rest of the pack.
Yes.
With all my new learnings and prepare to help them.
Yes. That sounds amazing. You all meet at the fist. Dave and Luke, you run into each other outside. Almost like it's fated, or the storyteller wants it to happen. And I imagine the rest of you are coming along as well.
Hey, Dave. About Mr. Smith. Perhaps
Yeah.
I've given some thought to it, and I feel comfortable with changing my former position on maybe releasing him for a little bit, letting him out to play for a little bit.
We should let him out. Oh, if you insist.
Well, I mean, my understanding was that you were always of the opinion that he should be let out. So I'm just saying that I'm agreeing with you on that point.
No, that's fine. I'm just a team player, so as long as you can sort of explain to the rest of the pack that it wasn't just my idea, then I'm game.
I would be willing to help to rationalize this decision with the rest of the pack. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I feel that there's a time and a place for everything, and I feel that in the symphony of our nights, this is that moment. So yeah.
Well, if there's ever a favor I can do for you, you just have to ask.
I will keep that in mind, Dave. I may call on you for that favor very soon.
Well, if you head on into the fest, I'll go off and do what I need to, and I'll meet you there.
Of course, yeah.
Walk around the building.
Tell him I said hi. Yeah.
Will do.
Yeah.
At some point, at least during the early night, you all meet downstairs. Well, all of you except Oliver. Josh is there. And Isa is there. Isa is pacing because she does not like this one bit. She does not like violence or fighting. But she has recognized that it is the only way to get Gabriel back, first of all, because they're called the Mithras. The demands for helping Gabriel out of vampire prison was getting rid of the warlock.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's you five down here and Josh at his computer and Isa, who's looking like a worried mother whose children have not come home for the night.
Luis, is Oliver all right? Do you know where he is? Do you know where he is?
I have no idea, and it's very suspicious that he's not here.
Maybe something happened to him. I hope the Second Inquisition didn't get him.
I hope so too, because we're not far behind then. Like, they already have... Don't they already have Gabriel?
Isa nods.
Yeah. So how much time do you think we have before they like drill into their brains and extract all their information before they find the rest of us? Like, it's... We better hope that he's not with the SI, because then we're all screwed. Antigen will just raid this place again, burn it to the ground, probably. I mean,
Is Josh in here with us?
Yeah.
Josh, do you know where Oliver is?
Yeah.
You seem to know a lot. And that is...
You know?
What?
And where is he?
Underground.
that's fantastic.
Underground where?
A place I can't see.
Can you see
Close
Gabriel?
or far?
Yeah, I can see Gabriel.
So Oliver's probably not with them.
No, Gabriel is on the table in Topa.
That's also fantastic. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's what we all have to look forward to.
I
Can you
mean,
see anyone near Oliver?
He was with the warlock earlier, or last night.
That's also horrible.
And the Primogen. Did you all met? And the Herald.
Lovely.
Great.
that doesn't sound
I hope
so
he's okay.
promising.
Oh, he's fine. Don't worry.
Well, let's address the fire elephant in the room then.
You don't think he went and told them what we discussed with the Primogen, do you?
Considering she's also there,
Okay, you're right.
Isaac says, I imagine Victor will pull it from their head if they don't tell him freely.
That's fantastic. Yeah, this just keeps getting better and better. That's great. That's just great.
The lights blink for a moment, and the four horsemen appears.
So Oliver got himself captured. He's telling Victor everything. So is the Primogen. This is what we're going to be walking into.
Nemesis smiles and says, yeah, we're gonna walk into his trap, but he thinks we're coming there to kill him, and we're not.
We're not?
No,
Joining him?
no, we're gonna throw him in a hole.
I like this. A deep, dark, endless, bottomless hole, right? Is that?
You've been there, look. It's
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's a hole nobody ever comes back from, except for you and I.
oh, this hole I wouldn't even be able to escape from.
Oh, that sounds marvelous. Yeah. That seems like an adept hole to put him in.
It's basically a cage in the deepest of hell.
That sounds worse than killing someone.
Yeah, but killing Victor is kind of doesn't really work.
He's the Phoenix, remember? He makes a point of like coming back. Like obviously this has been tried before. Nemesis knows, right? And so yeah, we need to put him in some place like that, just to cause him eternal torment and allow him to suffer for countless amounts of time. Yeah.
I like to plan, Nemesis says, but the goal here is not killing him. It's distracting him long enough so I can finish my ceremony and pull him in.
Yeah, I'm here with you on that. Anything you need, whatever you need to like make that happen, I'm here. And Dave has released Mr. Smith. So that's something that yeah, we conferred. We felt that at this time it was for the best, Marie, and it's not my first choice, but I feel and I wanted to support Dave in this. That
You were not okay with having him.
I was not okay, but this is the circumstances have changed. Obviously,
Marie, he was really persuasive. I couldn't say no to Luke.
Like he can talk.
It's the kind of situation that I would. It's that 1 in 1 million kind of, we are out of options and we need to use every option we have. And the enemy of my enemy, as the saying goes, so yeah.
Now we have to
Plus, we also have to rescue Oliver.
Right.
Nemesis, she raises her hand where you can see like there's a part of her finger missing, and she looks at Marie. Do you know how to do this?
What's the plan?
Do it for your pack.
Mm-hmm.
Are you Yakuza?
No, I'm fireproof.
Ah, makes sense.
Okay.
You can see the rest of the four horsemen are also missing a part of their little finger.
But what if they need to pinky promise something?
Too bad.
Well,
Yes, they can't.
that's,
Other hand, go. Right.
yeah, well, maybe I won't have other hand at your right algorithm, and I'm going to look to the entire pack.
I sacrificed looking nice to wear this suit. I will not sacrifice a finger.
I mean, it's your choice. I'm not going to slice one of my fingers for nothing, but are you sure you want to walk into someone nicknamed the Phoenix Slayer without some kind of, fireproof resistance?
If I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die pretty.
It's not sunscreen we're talking about. This is literal fire. Are you sure?
I have burned plenty of buildings before. I'll dodge. I don't know.
Your choice. I mean, it's your own life to do whatever you want. I just offered you the Oh, I'm just want to offer you the chance. You take it or not, it's fine, man. Just come back safe, alright? What about the rest? Do you want to? I can do it right now while you strategize your plan.
I mean, I'll take all the fire protection I can get.
Nemesis says, it'll grow back. It's just a finger. You don't need it.
Yeah, exactly. Here you go. Here you go.
And nobody looks
Take it.
pretty when they're
Take
burnt
my
to a
finger.
crisp.
I'm going to look at Dave and Emily.
Dave will quite happily agree.
Can you repeat, please? Alright. Alright. Emily? I can't offer this to your pigeons. I'm sorry. I will run out of fingers.
Well, you just need a piece from everyone.
Alright.
Well, obviously, a piece of yourself as well.
Can I slush craft one for her?
No, unfortunately not.
I mean, if you want to lose another physical bot, it's not free.
Just
But
where
it's just-
Vistitude's concerned.
It's just the very tip of the finger. It's not the whole thing.
Take the whole thing. If it
I've heard
helps.
that before.
Damn.
I've heard this before. I know this game.
Oh no.
Marie, you can do your roll, and
Alright, I will quietly do it in the background while you want to talk or whatever.
if anyone does not want to throw a part of their finger into the pot, then just let me know. Leo is too afraid to lose a finger. Marie, can you remind me how much protection it gives?
It's half damage. Basically, it's still aggravated damage, but it's treated as superficial. Like, you reduce it by half, round it up.
Good. Well, you start preparing that. And Nemesis says, I've located the warlock. He's not hiding. The only... It's not an issue, per se, but we just have to be quick, I think. Because it is in one of the Paradise's concert halls. It's not the main tower, but it's still very close to the prince.
So that's where he's at.
7 with a messy crit.
No. The reroll, I'm rerolling the 10.
Oh, okay.
I am deactivating the massacre because I really don't want to blow anything up. I am using willpower because I'm noticing the beast rousing up, like really on the rail by the moment, and I'm going to inhale, exhale while chopping my finger off, which it takes me a moment back before I do it. I burn it in a blowtorch with the rest of the blood and the other fingertip from the first weapon I'm going to use the ritual on. And it's all being born in not the ground, but I have prepared some kind of support for it to burn into, and it won't propagate from the room. And this support has a triangle in script, which is the pagan term for the fire, the pagan symbol for fire. And once that's done, and everything is turned to ash, I'm going to grab the ash, smack it in my finger, and draw that same triangle on Luke's front. I'm going to whip it clean. There's going to be no left over. There is no ash left. But from this point forward, this is the application of the ritual, finally. And basically, I'm going to repeat this process with everyone that's, on board with this.
Yeah.
And keep doing the rolls in the background.
It's fine. You don't have to keep rolling. I'm good with your 5. I think also you can take half and succeed. Isis still looks worried. Nemesis is just tapping her foot, waiting for Marie to finish. And Josh is humming in the background.
He would be.
is there anything I can do? I feel useless, and I'm not gonna join the fighting because I can't stomach that, and it's not. I'm not good for that.
We will find a way to solve our internal problems in the meanwhile.
Could you set up any wards on me that doesn't require me cutting off a body part?
Unless you want. I can offer you the fingertip, or if you are willing to stand near fire and spend half an hour here. I mean, depends. I can give you a reservoir of your own blood. I can make you ward some of your clothes against kindred or whatever, or I can make you fire resistant. Pick your poison.
Dealer's choice.
I mean, I would suggest the blood reservoir and the fingertip more than anything, but you are not on board with with the latter, so.
Yeah, no, my finger's not going. Sorry about that.
No, it's your choice. It's fine, man. I mean, you have really pretty fingers. I understand that.
Yes, I do.
But yeah, other than that, the only thing I can offer, if you don't mind waiting some extra time, is preparing yourself a reservoir of your own blood, which you can later use for, whatever you need to.
I think I'll be fine. I don't need extra blood tonight, I don't think.
I'm going to nod.
Josh walks out of the basement into the pre-area beyond the vault door, and he just starts carrying in weapons. Just like arms full of them on the table, walks back, then another. Just guns, knives, batons, flamethrowers, everything in the Anarch arsenal. Just putting it there, smiling at everyone as he does so quietly. And Isa is just shaking her head. There you go, guys. All the things.
Woohoo!
I suggest not getting close.
Yeah. It's amazing. We have such a supportive team here. Yeah.
Is there anything I can do or help or tell you, or like before you go and, return barbecued?
Out of character. We have all had, and I can't remember her name now. My age old memory is failing me. We've all had her tea.
Oh, Scarlet, yeah.
Yeah, Scarlet, yeah. So Luke is gonna be like, if there's any way you could get a hold of some of that tea, that would be fantastic. That would be great.
Josh throws his hand into the air and is just like, I don't do magic, man.
Okay, all right. It was worth it. It was worth a try. It was just some damn good tea, and Josh, a lot of what you do seems like magic to me. So yeah, I just if you had some connections or anything like that, we're able to. Maybe you had a spare carafe around somewhere that. But no worries. You're still 100%, man. You're part of the team.
He smiles and walks back to his computer. Nemesis looks at you, Luke. If you get them, I'll get my team. And we kind of just warp there. Quick, in and out.
Taking care of it. Yeah, I'm good. He can't wait to flex again and use his power. So, yeah, he's ready to go.
Good luck then.
Everyone ready?
I'm going to stand near Isa.
Oh, I'm not coming, she says, and backs away.
Yes. Oh no.
Or he's still going to stand next to her.
It's to grab her on the way.
Yeah. I'm going to go over to Josh and just tell him, good luck. Keep an eye out, I guess. And could you tell Regina I might stop by?
Sure. She's going to be really annoyed, so that's just a bonus. He smiles.
And then I'll grab some brass knuckles, I guess.
It's only you guys that are not annoyed when I'm in your head. Or are you?
You're never gonna know.
I'll contact the Baron, he says. He's having terrible dreams. He needs some good news. And you all think you don't dream, but... Nemesis stretches out her hand, and the rest of her horsemen grab onto her, and she looks at you, Luke.
He's ready. He's like, grab on, everyone. We're going for a magic carpet ride.
And I'm going, well, I'm keeping myself out of the chain.
Why? You need to grab on, Marie. This isn't a choice. You don't get to, like, not come. So, come on.
Yes, I do. You don't decide what I can do, look.
No, Marie. Come on. You're coming with us. We need you.
Look,
All right? That whole blood shield thing you do, I can't live without it.
I can provide more than I have provided for you. You are fire resistant. I have give you the warning and anything I can do. But
the shield, Marie. You're like my very own Captain America. Like, I need you.
you are not facing bullets. And
No, we're facing something terribly worse. Yeah.
Exactly. And fire is not a projectile I can seal from. I'm sorry. But I am not going to fight this.
I'm disappointed.
What about Oliver? What about Oliver? He's trapped with the warlock.
I'm sure you will manage. I will.
I know he'd come if you were there.
He would. He totally would.
But this is my choice.
Isa says, some of us are not fighters.
I'm not a fighter, and I'm going.
Well, then that's for you, am I? I'm glad you are so brave, but that's not my case.
If there's anything you can do from here to help Oliver, please try.
Of course. I will help Ice with everything we can to do from here.
Nemesis forces out a scoff, rolls her eyes, and they all melt into shadow.
But I don't know. This is not a fight I want to pick.
Respect.
Okay, folks. The fasten your seatbelt sign and the no smoking signs are lit. All right, hang on. This is going to be wild.
Do a rouse too. Just a single one.
Yep. And it's a success because he's so good at this. So he's going to take you through dimensions of darkness you've never dreamed of. And it's going to feel wild. And you're going to go through the maelstrom and the abyss and all the levels of hell. And yes,
I can't
everything.
I can't remember the role. There's something about getting a stain, but it's not necessary.
I'll take the stain.
Yeah.
I'll take it. Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. If you're pulled through.
It's if you roll one on the dice, on the hunger dice, you get the stain.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
that's
there's even if you bring other people through,
Yeah.
I don't know how it works, but it's probably
That's okay.
Yeah.
I'll take the stain. I've got it. I love being stained. So, yeah.
Did you get you succeeded? Okay.
I succeeded. I'm good at this. Yeah.
I won't taunt you then.
I've come so far, right? You know, like I used to just be a normal piano player, and now, like, look at me. I'm traveling through regions of darkness that are unfathomable to the normal human imagination. So
You all appear inside it's not huge concert halls. There is a stage, there's a piano on it, there are some large red curtains that you would expect. And
this is all very familiar.
4 tables. And on the stage, you see the warlock accompanied by 4 very large gargoyles. Oliver is standing next to him. And Damien is kind of just as close to the wall as you can get in the background. The warlock turns and smiles to all of you menacingly and says, "It's so good of you to join me."